This demonstration is based on research project evaluation LISP programming language. These are content of this demonstration. Introduction to LISP. LISP is a computer programming language with a long history and distinctive fully parenthesized syntax. The name LISP derives from LIST processing language, originally specified in 1958. LISP is the second oldest high-level programming language in widespread use today. Only Fortran is older. Like Fortran, LISP has changed great deal since earlier days, and number of dialects have excited over its history. LISP was originally created a practical mathematical notation for computer programs based on lambda calculus. It quickly became favored programming language for artificial intelligence research. Today, the most widely known general-purpose LISP dialects are Common Lisp and Scheme. History of Lisp. IBM was one of the first companies interested in artificial intelligence in 1950s. At the same time, the Fortran project was still going on. Because of the high cost associated with producing the first Fortran compiler, they decided to include the list processing functionality into Fortran. The Fortran list processing was designed and implemented as an extension for Fortran. It was 1956 Dartmouth Summer Research Project and Artificial Intelligence that John McCarthy first developed basic behind Lisp. His motivation was to develop Lisp processing language for artificial intelligence. By 1965, the primary dialects for Lisp was created. By 1970, special purpose computers known as Lisp machines were designed to run Lisp programs. In 1975, another dialect of Lisp called Scheme. 1980 was the year that object-oriented concepts were intelligent into language. Finally, 1992, the American National Standard for Common Lisp was published.
Lisping today, having declined somewhat in 1990, Lisp experienced a regrowth of interest. Most new activity is focused around open source implementation of Common Lisp and include the development of new portable libraries and applications. Many new Lisp programmers were inspired by writers such as Paul Gannon and Eric S. Raymond to pursue a language others consider antiquated. New programmers often describe the language as an eye-opening experience and claim to be substantially more productive than its other languages. In addition, Lisp dialects used as scripting languages in a number of applications, with the most well-known being Emacs Lisp in the Emacs editor, Visual Lisp in AutoCAD. Why Lisp? Common Lisp differs from standard Lisp primarily in incorporating more features, including a richer and more complicated set of data types and more control structures. Common Lisp is intended to meet these goals: portability, consistency, efficiency, expressiveness. Expressiveness has shown to be most useful, and Common Lisp calls what experience understandable constructs from not only Mac Lisp but also InterLisp, other Lisp dialects and other programming languages. Constructs judged to be open or less useful has been excluded. An example is the stock construct of Mac Lisp. Lisp was C. This is a small program using Lisp. Let's go through this line by line. Define function called hello world. This is so-called docstring argument that optionally document what the function does. We make the function interactive by including the special form interactive immediately after documentation. This means that user can invoke the function interactively by typing mx and the name of the function. The message function displays the message hello world in the echo area. When we compare these two languages, coding of Lisp is very difficult to understand. In this case, we can easily understand C coding as we've seen. When we implement the logically code, we use this and it makes it easy to implement. But we use C, we must implement a lot of functions, lot of lines of code. It is very difficult to understand and write.
LISP applications. LISP totally dominated artificial intelligence applications for quarter of a century and is still the most widely used language for AI. In addition to its success in AI, LISP pioneered the process of functional programming. Many programming language researchers believe that functional programming is much better approach to software development than the use of imperative language such as Pascal, C++. Below in the short list of the areas where the list has been used. Artificial intelligence. In artificial intelligence, they use AI robots, computer games, and pattern recognition. And more than AI defense system, implementation of real-time embedded knowledge-based system, list handling and processing, uh, tree, tree travel, tree travelers, and educational purposes. Uh, Next, we are going to benefit of list. Benefit of the common list is available for almost all computers and operating systems. The day of Lisp interpreters have long since passed. Commercially available common Lisp systems have, without exception, include compilers for well over a decade. The overall execution speed of common Lisp programs is comparable to equivalent programs compiled by lower order languages. Second one, common Lisp is a very small language with a very large library. The library is best suited for complex algorithmic programs such as those which make extensive use of dynamic data structures to solve problems is knowledge representation, scheduling, network management, and financial modeling. In fact, common Lisp users have discovered that their programs can actually outperform sufficiently complex programs written in C++, because it is very difficult for a programmer to create efficient abstraction from scratch. Common Lisp users have the advantage of large, well-defined library, which is efficient thanks to constant feedback from many users. Third one is Common Lisp program are among the easiest to port across vendors and platforms. Having a larger standardized runtime library ensures that it performs the same way from vendor to vendor. Common Lisp provide a more extensive abstraction out of the box than to other languages. Even better, its abstractions are designed to be free from dependencies of hardware representation. Common Lisp programming simply do not break because of word size and byte order issues when moved to different platforms. This is the end of the demonstration, and information is gathered from the internet resources. Thank you.